Hello everyone, welcome to Module 1, the research proposal. Hopefully by now you've viewed the course orientation video and you've looked over the syllabus and you have a general sense of how the course works. The purpose of this video is to explain in detail the research proposal, what I'm looking for, how to do it, and hopefully get you a better sense of understanding of how the semester is going to progress. So typically you're probably used to ending a semester or a course with some giant research paper. This course is different in that we begin the course with probably one of the most difficult assignments, which is essentially a research type paper. Instead of calling it a research paper, we call it a research proposal in technical writing, and you'll see why. So for this module, the first thing that I would recommend doing is take these two chapter quizzes from chapters 5 and 16 just to get an idea of what a research proposal is and does and what I'm looking for. And then when you are ready to start working on the project, look at the assignment guidelines and you'll see this here. It gives you the objective of the proposal, what we're doing, and essentially what you need to do is select one of these research questions or application or program, whatever you want to call it. Select the one that interests you most. And I have to say that this is a very, very important decision because the entire semester essentially is based on this research question. So let me explain. You're going to be focusing the entire semester on one application. Okay, so let's just say I'm just going to use something that we're probably all familiar with or at least heard of. You know what? Well, let's say Twitter. I'm going to do this. Okay, so we're all probably very familiar with Twitter and Facebook and different social media sites. Say you're using that application for this semester. Everything that you work on during the course of this semester is based on Twitter. So the first thing we do is a research proposal. It's based on the use of Twitter. The next thing we go into, the next deliverable, is a set of instructions. This is where you actually develop instructions on how to use Twitter. Then we develop a job aid. This is a sort of graphic representation of how to use Twitter. So you're essentially teaching Twitter to different users. But before we get into all of that, we need to look at a sort of research question, a foundation for which you're using Twitter. And it's not necessarily just for entertainment purposes. I've written quite a bit on the use of Twitter in academia and the different effects that are associated with it. And some of the most interesting stuff comes from these types of questions, which does social media or Twitter usage increase, say, something like teacher presence or something called social presence? And again, you have to do a little research on what these things are. But imagine this. Imagine being in an online course such as this and using things like Twitter, or in our case, Google Hangout, for an added component of interaction with the course. Usually what people will see in their research is that this increases how students perceive the instructor of the course or other students. They feel more present. They're more engaged, and overall they're usually more satisfied with the course, and in some cases they actually have even greater performance. So sometimes they'll even perform even better when they're using things like something as simple as Twitter. So that could be a question that you ask. Does it actually affect course satisfaction? That's one question that you can base the entire semester on. You could also look at something like, does social media affect attention span? This is a hotly contested debate right now going on, whether or not it's actually detrimental to our attention span. You could ask the question, does Twitter affect grades? You could, if you think about that, you could possibly make the argument that Um, it could detract from otherwise studying time, or it could be distractful during class, and you could miss important information that way. Or you could find that it actually enhances, it helps. You can connect with other students, you can connect with instructors, you can get answers from other students and instructors in real time. So it just depends on the question you're asking and the research that you find. So let me back up a little bit, and I'm just going to use a research question as simple as this, which is, do students prefer digital or paper-based text? Again, another hotly contested issue going on right now. Um, there seems to be an answer leaning one way more than the other, but I'll let that be up to you if you decide to use this research question. So if that's your research question, what you can do is you can look at an application such as Kobo, which is one of my favorites, or something that we're all familiar with, which would be like iBooks. Essentially just the program that you can use on your phone or your computer or your tablet to read ebooks, right? Say you got the digital version of this textbook. Whatever you're using to read that, it could be iBooks, it could be Nook, it could be whatever program you're using. That's what you're going to focus the semester on. So let's imagine that's my research question. I need to now go and research the answer to that question, right? So I need to figure out, well, what does the research say? There are lots of studies out there that have taken a consensus of of students and have found that students prefer one over the other overwhelmingly, right? So that's the essence of the research proposal. You do need to select one of these questions or a variation of that question. And I give you the associated application that you can use with this. So say you're going to use this question, can students multitask? That's a research question, can they? And then some things that are associated with that. Evernote is a really useful program, and it sort of helps students multitask or helps them at least keep track of things they need to do. Also, other little list making applications like Wunderlist or something like that. These are not set in stone. I do want you to start with these. So I want you to try and choose one, or if it makes you think of something that's a little different and you know of a different application that you'd rather use, then please email me because I do want you to clear your topic with me. So if you're not going to use one of these research questions specifically, then you need to clear your topic with me because it is such an important part of the semester, because remember, everything else this semester is based on this research. I give you an example of what each section of the research proposal actually includes, and I give you some page numbers from the text on how to lay these different things out. There are some tips from past semesters, just from what I've learned and seen in previous semesters. This is a research paper, so it's going to require extensive research, and the requirement for this paper is a minimum of 5 peer-reviewed journal articles. And so that means you're going to need to go to either actually go to Kimball Library, or you can use the Kimball Library database online. But you need to find 5 peer-reviewed journal articles. These are credible sources. And again, I give you some contact information here for the distance learning librarian, Ariana Baker. She can help you, I can help you, but this is a very important part of the research proposal. Also, in the module here, I give you a model. So I give you an example of something that was done previously. I think this is a pretty good example. It can definitely be improved upon, but it's a good starting point. So if you scroll down, this is his research proposal. So this is what it actually will look like when you're finished. And yes, all of the headings should be formatted this way. It should look almost exactly like this. Formatting is extremely important in professional and technical writing. It's a very important part of it. Notice the header here. So lots of different things. You can read through this and you can see how he's implementing the research that he found into his research proposal. So the set of proposed tasks is one of the sections. And I want to point out that the proposed tasks are the tasks that we complete in the course. So like I mentioned, the next thing that we do is create a set of instructions. After that, Module 3 is a job aid. After that, it's a usability test, then a completion. So to get these tasks, you will all have the same tasks. To get these, you can either, well, I guess you could look at this example and just take these, or you can look at the syllabus and see all of the deliverables that we come up with. So they're going to be the same for everybody. And then the actual schedule, this is just basically a visual representation of the due dates for all of these things. So it's not going to be identical to this because this was a different semester, but you can see how it's set up. So you can look at the syllabus and see when's the job aid due, when's the usability test, and all of that. So take some time to look over the model. That's very important for your success. Also, the proposal discussion forum. This is where you post that first draft, and this is how you do it. So I give you an example, I give you instructions on how to do it, and then there is a video here when it comes time to do the peer reviews, how to do the peer reviews of the different research proposals. So that's it, basically. I know that's a lot of information, but you'll definitely get it figured out, I promise. The course calendar is here, so if you look at the course calendar, this is going to be September, that time to do it, and then the peer reviews are due that week. They're due by the 6th, so you can do it anytime that week. Hopefully by now, I'm making this video before the course starts, but by now we should be hooked up to the Google Plus community, and of course you can toss questions into there and get answers that way. If you have specific questions for me, please email me and I'll certainly help you. Remember, I'm not on campus this semester for office hours, but we can arrange either a Google Hangout together or a Skype or whatever you want to do to help you understand better. So I look forward to seeing what's going on in the course. And again, I know what it's like to be an online student, so just know that you're not on an island all by yourself. I'm here to help you, so don't hesitate to reach out and contact me if you need help. All right, thanks everyone.